Welcome back to another video. So this is the last session of the deload, and it was a pretty easy session. So this was one that I did Sunday afternoon, I guess evening more so, but it started out with some snatches which honestly kind of went poorly, but as I was doing the sets they got better. So I kept missing the first rep on the doubles, and the working sets were supposed to be at 95. On the third double I was able to make it, and I was able to do the double pretty quick, which is rather surprising. So I bumped up on the last one to 100 just to kind of motivate myself to try harder, and the double went well with the 100. So I think I was just not trying hard enough on the first two sets and just wasn't like mentally there as far as I don't know, I just was excited to do 95 doubles. It's just not an exciting lift, so I think it was just me being mentally weak, but thankfully I was still able to get the second rep on all the sets, on the first two sets I should say. For clean and jerks, they were originally supposed to be about 120 for 3 singles. I just bumped up each of the singles by 10 kilos, which is similar to what I've done in similar workouts in previous weeks. And this session went pretty well with it. The 140 felt relatively heavy, but it wasn't too bad, and I was pretty happy with how the jerk felt. After the clean and jerks, I had some back squats, and the back squats were 4 singles at about 170 kilos. I bumped up to 175 just because it's just singles in the back squat. It was just 4 singles, and on the last set, or the last 2 sets, I combined to be a set of 2 or a double, just because they were feeling good. And honestly, it's kind of odd to look at them, because the first set, or the first single I should say, went pretty slow, or at least looked pretty slow, but then the rest of them looked pretty fast. So it's kind of interesting to see when you make a big jump how the first rep will sometimes look kind of difficult, even though your body is kind of primed after that one and will move faster with subsequent sets. After the back squats, I had some snatch pulls. It was supposed to be 2 sets of 2 at right about the weight that I did, the 140. I just combined it just to do a set of 4 and did it pretty continuously. The weight felt pretty easy, so nothing really too radical there. Pretty easy session, but this was the last day of the deload week. So tomorrow we'll be looking at it. Will be a heavier day of snatches and some heavier back squats and all of that. But then it will start a 3-week peak, which might end up being a 2-week peak. I'm not sure how the last week will go, because that will be a week where I am down in Florida, so it will depend on a variety of factors. If like flying down, all that goes fine, and if I'm training normally down there, and we'll see. I should be able to, but it's a pretty big variable, because I'm not exactly sure, you know, if I'm going to be busy while I'm down there or whatnot. I'm just visiting family down there, so who knows what we'll be doing down there. Probably not a ton, just kind of hanging out, so I should be all right. But I don't know, I'm pretty structured in my life, so when there's variables thrown in, it's hard to really predict how things will go. Maybe I'll have some great sessions down there, but I'm kind of planning the week before I go down to be kind of like the big max out time, and then if I have another good week of training while I'm down there, then that's kind of a big bonus. And then when I come back from my trip in Florida, and then I'll be back at school and then be able to start a new program. I don't know how long that program will be, but I'll kind of decide that. I'll probably have a lot of time to think about that while I'm down there finishing up the program. So I guess we'll see if I'm able to hit some big numbers, maybe get close to another PR total attempt. But if not, just keep hitting good numbers, keep trying to get above 130 in the snatch and above 116 clean jerk, and just keep trying to push the numbers up. I think the next training cycle will be good to have a bit of a longer one, just to spend more time just getting a bit stronger, because I think this one, it felt like it went really fast, which is interesting. But anywho, that's it for this one. So deload is done, back up to the peak, so hopefully starting to hit some big numbers on these big Fridays as the peak starts and continues for a couple weeks. But that's it for now. Talk to you on the next one. Peace.